Long term, I think the entire world will end up on a Bitcoin standard, that Bitcoin will be the new monetary system of the world. It will become the reserve currency for corporate treasuries, as in corporate, companies where they keep their money. I think it'll ultimately end up being the preferred store of value for central banks. But each of those things takes a long time. Bitcoin's been around for 15 years, and it's just barely on the front end of getting past just consumers. So there's a few companies like MicroStrategy and Square/Block and Coinbase and a few others that keep Bitcoin on their corporate balance sheets, but it's very few companies right now. And as soon as that happens, that adoption curve of Bitcoin will radically accelerate. So what does that mean? It means if you have US dollars that can be converted to Bitcoin, in my opinion, now is a great time to convert them. And in the long term, I think the world will be on a Bitcoin standard. We will not have recessions the same way we do today because they're heavily caused by fiat money printing and the Federal Reserve's manipulation of the money supply, which results in the boom-bust cycles. Those are not natural. The boom-bust cycles are almost entirely in the modern era caused by fiat money printing by central banks and the manipulation of interest rates, which should be floating based on supply and demand, but are not. And as that monetization takes place over time, which will be volatile, there will be lots of ups and downs in that process. But eventually, let's say when Bitcoin's worth 1 million US dollars per coin, it will require a lot more US dollars to buy a lot less Bitcoin because a lot more of the world will have switched to Bitcoin as compared to US dollars. Anytime you're moving in that process to something that is ultimately more scarce and will become more valuable over time, you end up way better off than the people who wait to make that transition to much later in the process.